Listen, everyone, it's quite simple. Smash the free like button if professional wrestling is extreme. Now, not just extreme rules or anything, don't take this out of context here. I'm talking about the term extremists or extremism. So, we all heard of this term before in politics. Speaking of politics, they always sneak their way into professional wrestling. No matter if we're teasing it or making fun of it or mocking it or mocking a person who served the country and all that jazz, let me keep things perfectly clear without taking things out of context. Now look, I might not be perfect and I'm not going to get anything right no matter what I throw at the wall and see what sticks. It's kind of complicated, but I'm going to give it my best shot as I can. You have loving, supporting wrestling fans, but you have the ones that just want to, well, let's just say tear it all down on what it represents. Yes, you're still going to hear about, breaking news. Hulk Hogan is a huge Trump supporter and people hate Hulk Hogan for liking Trump. Or breaking news, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis makes a interesting debut at Saturday's main event. And he got booed in Tampa, Florida, which kind of makes no sense, but okay, people are weird, I guess. It's just going to get to a point in time, no matter what your beliefs in politics are, because if you ask me, I stay out of it. I can care less about it, to be honest. I just want, specifically, let me start over. I want America to be great, and I want America to be the best country in the world. And listen, at the end of the day, we're not perfect, but we're not going to let people talk crap about people, disrespecting a country, specifically my country, and in everything else. Mostly it's 50-50, and, if you take honest criticism, just take it with respect, as you can. Doesn't matter at the end of the day, just take it with respect. You have to take professional wrestling and keep it on a silver platter of keeping a good balance. Yes, there's going to be crazy people out there that are going to have crazy beliefs about professional wrestling. Some people believe that the worst talent is actually good talent, or this wrestler should stay as champion as long as he lives. And some people believe that, cheating to win is a good thing instead of just winning fair and square. Those are a bunch of different things. But which one is the extreme one? Well, you have the non-wrestling fan, the one that doesn't watch wrestling or doesn't understand wrestling. Am I saying that the people who don't like wrestling are dangerous and extreme or extremist? Not really. And I hate to burst that specific bubble, but yeah, there are crazy people. No matter how extreme you are, you need to hold yourself accountable. At the end of the day, of course, there's going to be people with crazy ideas and crazy opinions, and it may not acquire to yours or anybody else's. As long as people are willing to listen and hear you out, you'll be fine at the end of the day. But again, there's just going to be people out there that are just going to be like, we're going to have to put this on hold. I don't like where this is going. I don't like this, direction is going. What I'm trying to get at is keep your politics to yourself respectfully. I'm just going to keep it real. Wrestling and politics don't mix together. It just doesn't. You're just creating a world of disaster and you're just creating a world of division. Doesn't matter if you're Team John Cena or Team The Rock, for example. At the end of the day, they're both great wrestlers. They both represent how they build this company from the ground up. But my point is, for example, if John Cena was a huge Democrat or something, for example. I'm going to use John Cena for example. Imagine if John Cena, everyone that loved him so much, turned their backs on him if he was a Democrat. Oh, breaking news. He believes that Joe Biden should become the president of the United States. That kind of just seems like fake news. That's not even true. Because we don't even know who he supports. Because if they ask me, I think he's more of an independent type of person. He doesn't believe in being a Republican or Democrat because he's John Cena, for crying out loud. I feel like wrestling is going to turn into a dark place if wrestling gets too close slash too attached to politics. No matter if you're into politics, but politics are into you. That's right, the people. They'll just do anything, whatever it takes. No matter if it's a tap, tap, tap on the phone or a type on the computer and then just print paper and people will see it. Or show it on the news, on television. You can't escape from it. It's everywhere at this point. No matter how many times we ignore it, it just gets worse after worse after worse. And sometimes seeing this nonsense just rubs me the wrong way. Like, for example, which is real that I saw on Instagram, it was showing a wrestling attire of Sami Zayn and CM Punk having quote unquote flag colors from Palestine. Now, no matter what you believe in the whole Israel versus Palestine, I think it's nothing but a waste of time and just people coping about, oh, which country is better or who owns the land. It's like nobody cares. You both have the land, so just share it instead of blowing each other up and saying, oh, this is my land and you have no land. It's ridiculous. Stop wasting my time. Just choose the land that you live on, including your neighbor, and stick with it. Just do me a favor and just stop. Stop blowing each other up. Stop sending missiles. Stop blowing each other up. I'm tired of it. Enough of it. However, it just hurts not only the people around you, but also it hurts the viewer that watches this. And the reason why we watch wrestling is to escape from reality. That's basically its job, to entertain us, to help us let go and look at wrestling. I mean, you can obviously use wrestling to make fun of politics. Sure, that part's fine, but having to talk about it as an issue in a storyline, I don't know if they have done that before. Maybe they have. I could be a little too late to the party, but I can go on and on and on if I had to, but I don't need to explain myself too far. But if wrestling gets too attached to a politics, is it going to get extreme? With honesty, yes. Are people going to use this term to bash WWE and wrestling in general, no matter if you are a loving wrestling fan or an anti-wrestling fan or a person that doesn't care about watching wrestling or a person that wants to get into wrestling for the first time but you don't know how to start? Yeah. So I think that's kind of about it on that matter. So is wrestling between fans slash non-fans just gonna keep arguing about this nonsense on X slash Twitter? People are gonna have good, honest opinions while others not so much, while others are just here for the chaos. That's basically the whole point. People are here for the chaos. And for me, what am I here for? I just want to enjoy the product before I just go, you know what, I don't really enjoy the product anymore. I'm just going to just, enjoy the chaos and just watch these wrestling companies just burning and shredding and crashing out and watching it all come crashing down. No matter how successful it is or no matter how you see it as successful, it's nothing but a joke. It's nothing but a big joke at this point. You want to know what else is a big joke? The whole idea, no matter who started it first, no matter if it was Vince McMahon or Triple H, just to make some of that blood money in Saudi Arabia or in Arab countries, just keep this in mind. Arabics, or just the people themselves, they're all right. But however, their rules and their culture, not so much. So, of course, there has been a post on Instagram, if you haven't seen it or not, which the leader of somewhere between in Saudi Arabia or quote-unquote Dubai or somewhere in that specific area in the Arab slash Middle East countries, just somewhere in that area specifically itself. Of course, somewhere in 2026 to 2027, which is kind of just the worst timing to ask me, of course, and say, we're going to do a WrestleMania in that area. This is the part that I hope that you guys wake up and go, no, we don't want WWE to go for WrestleMania for Saudi Arabia. Because if you've seen the video, please check it out. I would really appreciate it. It was my booking of WrestleMania 42 in New Orleans. Spoiler alert, they cannot make up their specific minds on which WrestleMania place that they want to take place in to do the show for next year in 2026. They're going to do it in, of course, Las Vegas again for WrestleMania 41. So, I don't know. This is permanent. We don't know if this is, I don't know. I mean, they done it before for WrestleMania 36 and 37. If I'm correct, I could be wrong on that. Like, it was like the Pirates theme. Like, they were supposed to do it before COVID, and they had to do it in the Performance Center. And once COVID was over, they, they finally did it in Tampa Bay, Florida. Like, they've been waiting to do it for a long time for that stadium specifically. Thanks to TKO and The Rock behind the scenes saying that as a educational guest, but at the end of the day, I could be wrong and say maybe some higher-ups behind the scenes that we don't know about that should be, maybe take a step back and maybe just let it go and maybe just, I don't know, just do WrestleMania 42 in New Orleans for crying out loud, please. Because if we don't get WrestleMania in New Orleans, then I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, at least, I don't know, do WrestleMania in Pittsburgh, or why not do WrestleMania in, I don't know, in Mexico? I swear, please don't do WrestleMania in Canada, because you're going to have to deal with those anti-American Canadians, which, come on, I get that you love your country, but show the people that you live next door to, which is the Great North, which you're literally living in next to the United States, Canada and the United States, we're literally both next to each other. We're both neighbors. Show some respect. Calm down. We may have a little bit of differences, but come on now. Don't be an idiot. Don't be very ignorant and just be blind and with hate and nonsense. So at the end of the day, no matter which WrestleMania location they're going to take next year, I hope that it's somewhere still in the US or somewhere in Europe. I don't care if it takes place in England, because I know people are waiting to hip hip ha ha he hoo on Tony Khan and say the Wicked Witch is dead of the West, and hip hip hooray. Triple H is gonna buy AEW and go, well, I told you I can do it. I told you that I can run WWE and be better than Vince McMahon and blah blah blah, a bunch of this nonsense and that nonsense. No, this ain't 2001. Triple H, you're not Vince McMahon being so happy that he bought WCW. Come on, man. This ain't the great year of 2001. Even though there was a tragedy on that day of 2001, which I don't need to preference. So, if you know, you know. Yeah. Here's a rule / a little solution. I personally believe that Triple H should just say, you know what? Don't wrestle any matches or any shows in Saudi Arabia unless you want to save it for a big, huge pay-per-view. Kind of like 2026, for example, right? Good old 2026 for the Royal Rumble, right? Why not just save, a Saudi Arabian match somewhere in the year 2029? Between the years 6 and 9. Say, it only happens around 4 years. Just do it for 4 years. Like, don't wrestle for any wrestling shows or any events in Saudi Arabia. Or just don't go over to Saudi Arabia until it's time to go over there. That way, so it doesn't seem like, oh, every year they wrestle for Saudi Arabia, every single year. Just don't wrestle over there for a lot of months and a lot of years. That's all I ask. If they can do that, great. If they don't, oh, well, I guess they're just too obsessed with money. I mean, they can make their money somewhere else. And let's be honest, ladies, be prepared. You're going to a place where, it's getting the recommendation of, it's getting almost there, but not quite. What I'm trying to say is get respect, but they're not getting any respect. Feminism, blah, blah, blah. I can go on and on and on about that. So Let me know, is wrestling going to get more dangerous and more extreme than ever before, or am I exaggerating? Or maybe a little bit of both. Let me know.